Hey, Boone! You were late today, weren't you? Why the hell are you going to lunch with everyone else? You don't get lunch today. Pick up your damn phone. You owe me an hour. You can't seriously think you get a lunch after showing up late.
Good afternoon, Mr. Abrams. Apologies. I left my seat for a few minutes to call the hospital to check on the old lady this morning. I'll be back immediately.
I see. That's right. Your excuse for being late today was that you were helping someone in a medical emergency, wasn't it? Something about some old hag collapsing while you were on your way to work? You gave her CPR and sat in the back of the ambulance with her. Did I miss anything? That's how it went, right?
That's right. There was an old lady lying on the floor at the train station. She looked seriously unwell. I tried speaking to her, but she was unresponsive, so I performed CPR. Luckily, she came around, and then I called an ambulance.
Is this seriously the story you're going with? Even high school kids don't use crappy excuses like this anymore. You should have just said you overslept. I might have actually believed you then.
Mr. Abrams, it's the truth. I understand it might sound like an excuse because it's not exactly the sort of thing that happens every day, but it's true. I never imagined I'd get wrapped up in something this dramatic either.
Yeah, I've heard enough. I get the gist of your story now. I just don't believe it, truant boy. Truant boy Boone! It's got a ring to it! You're a real pansy, you know that, truant boy? You call yourself a man? You always try to evade responsibility like some pitiful worm. Really grinds my gears. The way you go around the office with that stupid grin on your face, brown-nosing everyone. You're such a suck-up. Why not just be a man about it and admit what you did? To top it off, you tried pulling the wool over my eyes with the lamest excuse I've heard this decade. Don't you feel embarrassed?
It's not really like that.
Look, you can't even defend yourself properly. Why? Because I'm right. You're surprisingly stupid for someone who graduated from the world-famous Peeps University. Did you bribe them for your degree? Anyone can see you only got hired at this company in the first place due to the university you studied at. You're not fooling me though, truant boy. I'm a firm believer in meritocracy. I'll get rid of anyone who doesn't make the grade without thinking twice. Even if you can study, what use is it if you can't apply it in the real world? You're playing with the big boys now, truant boy. You should have tried harder.
I'm sorry, Mr. Abrams. I'll do my utmost to ensure I live up to your expectations from now on.
Don't kid yourself. I don't expect anything from a dud like you. I already recommended the top brass fire you, so it's too late anyway.
What? I'm gonna get fired? Surely no matter which way you look at it, this is going overboard. Why?
Think about it. Being late signals a poor attitude towards work and disrespect towards the company. I'm a section manager, and 90% of the people I recommend for the chopping block end up being sent packing. At the very least, can you put in some effort before your dismissal notice comes? Use this as your final opportunity to do some good work for a change. Try not to let Peeps University down by becoming a complete failure. They're counting on you, truant boy. Boone, what time can I expect to see those files I asked you to get done?
They should be done within the hour.
Great. That leaves plenty of time then.
Plenty of time?
I need you to format, edit, check, and submit the PowerPoint slides in my shared folder.
Just to confirm, do you mean you want all this done today?
Yes, today. Why? Is that gonna be a problem?
There's no easy way to tell you this, so I'm just gonna come out with it. I'm celebrating an important occasion with my family today, so I'll be leaving at my regular home time. Besides, even if I got started on the files right now, it's doubtful I'd get them done by the end of the day. Is tomorrow really not possible?
An important celebration with your family? You can do that whenever you like. And I need these files dealt with today, so you don't have permission to leave early. It's a man's job to work and make money. You can deal with your insignificant family crap once you've submitted the files. Your family can wait, but your job can't. Oh, And it would be in your best interest not to lie and try to wiggle your way out of doing your duties. You miserable worm. You know full well you can get this done by the end of today. This is a direct order. Do I make myself clear?
Please, sir, it's not that I'm saying my job isn't important. Not at all. But to tell you the truth, my family are more important than work. I can't in good conscience do overtime if it means letting them down. Once again, sir, I must insist, even if I was to get started on those files you asked me for right now, they would absolutely, beyond any doubt, take me past home time. Finally, this company doesn't operate on an overtime policy, so I have no obligation to do what you're asking me to from a contractual standpoint. Now, sir, I mean this with the utmost respect, but I just took a look at the files you asked me to complete, and the deadline doesn't seem to be anywhere near as pressing as you seem to be suggesting it is.
Are you answering me back again? You just don't give up, do you? Man, am I pleased I advised the higher-ups to fire you. This place is gonna run so much more efficiently with you gone.
So, you did report me then?
The way I see it, there's one more huge advantage of getting rid of you, which I'm really looking forward to see in effect. Everyone in the department's gonna be so terrified they're next, and so worried about being in my bad books, I'll have my own personal army of obedient worker drones. I can't wait to make an example out of you. They'll be practically begging me for extra work. It's gonna be great! The sooner you're out of here, the better.
Huh? You're doing this to make an example of me?
It's not really that, but it's a big part of it. And really? Huh? That's how you speak to your direct supervisor? Who the heck do you think you are, worm? Are you getting an attitude with me, your boss?
Sir, I don't have an attitude.
The fact of the matter is, you were late. Now here's the thing, you're useless at the best of times. So really, this is just what I've been waiting for. You talk back to me at every opportunity. You don't do your job. And you're so arrogant, you prevent me from doing mine! You're an obstruction! An obstructive worm! I just can't wait for your name to get called out by HR. I'm almost disappointed I won't be able to watch the announcement in person. I'd bring popcorn. I'm done talking to you. Bye, delinquent. Hey, worm boy, are you alive? I heard you got called into the CEO's office. Did he do it? Did he fire you?
Actually, we did talk at great length about a certain person's dismissal.
I knew it! LOL! Sucks to be you! I guess I was wrong. I thought HR would deal with you, but it looks like word made it right to the top instead. Looks like I wasn't the only one in this company who was sick of your attitude, huh? Imagine getting fired after trying to play the saint with some lazy excuse. You're so lame. Out of all my subordinates, past and present, you're probably the lamest dude I've ever managed at this company. My stomach hurts. Do you seriously think I'd fire the man who saved my mother's life? Who the hell do you think you are to act like this at my company? Huh? What's this? What are you even talking about, worm boy? Did you lose your mind? Did you finally crack under all the pressure? Phone call, 10 seconds. As I just told you on the phone, you need to get back at the office at once. Mr. President, sir. Why are you? Did I not just tell you? Boone saved my mother's life. I heard about how you were sending him all sorts of unpleasant messages using your company phone. So I asked him to pass me his. I'm sorry, sir. I'm really sorry, but I'm not sure what you mean. What does Boone have to do with your mother, sir? You're aware of why Boone was late the other day, are you not? Yes, I'm aware. Then you know full well what I mean, Sam. Go on, take a shot in the dark. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Other than something about helping an elderly person, I don't remember. The elderly person was my mother. Oh, I see. That explains everything. Wow, to think Boone saved your beloved mother's life. He's such a hero. What an incredible, selfless man. That's right, he is. I'll admit that there are times when the quality of his work can leave a little something to be desired. But putting that aside, he's a good man with a good heart. It's an honor to have him at my company, and I intend to keep him here as long as possible. Yes, as you say, sir. My own thoughts echo your sentiments. I've always said this about him. He's a great man. A real pleasure to be around. We're lucky to have him. The longer he's with us, the better, I say. What the hell are you talking about, Sam? From what I've heard, you didn't believe him in the slightest. Not only that, but you attempted to use his lateness that day as pretext to have him fired. No. That's all wrong. Which part is wrong? Well, you see, the thing is, Mr. Benson, I saw the report you filed with HR about how you claimed his attitude towards work is poor, about how he lacks the skills required to do his job properly. Ring any bells? When I had HR conduct an investigation, it turns out the reality was the exact opposite of what you wrote. His reputation is stellar, one of the best at the company. So, I think it's fair to say that what you've done here is file a false report, isn't it? No! It's not fair to say that at all! In fact, it couldn't be more unfair! Boone's got everyone fooled! He's been bullying and harassing me in secret this whole time! Are you just making excuses? That's funny. Judging from the chat logs, I could have sworn you hated people who try to worm their way out of things and dodge responsibility. You call yourself a man? And please, Boone bullying and harassing you? Do you have a shred of evidence to back that up? By that, do you mean he just had the courage to correct your mistaken opinions? Are subordinates not supposed to give their opinions to the boss? I'm sure that's the world you'd like to live in. Are your staff disqualified from telling you what they think? Or being honest when they're not capable of doing something simply by the virtue of the fact that they're lower down on the chain of command than you? Does your job consist of treading on and oppressing subordinates more talented than yourself? No, not at all. Please, sir, I'm being set up. To make matters worse, I've had reports from HR that you've been throwing your weight around the other employees in the department too? I've received several reports that you've tried to make an example of Boone to keep your other employees in line, and people have been treading on eggshells around you. I haven't just heard this from one or two people either. Almost all of the employees in your department are concerned and dissatisfied with the way you've been conducting yourself lately. What's your excuse this time? Mr. Benson, I'm deeply sorry. I accept what you say, and there may be some room for improvement in the way I conduct myself at work. I won't make an excuse. What I've done is inexcusable, which is why I'm begging you, please, to be merciful and make my punishment as lenient as you can. You admit wrongdoing then? That you submitted a false report against another employee? That you abused your position of authority at this company to make the working environment needlessly stressful and difficult for your employees? Yes. I'm deeply sorry, sir. I see. That's good. If you admit wrongdoing, I'm satisfied. Mr. President! Thank you so much! However, just because I'm satisfied with your admission doesn't mean you're getting away with it. I only meant I'm satisfied with the matter that Boone is now settled. That said, there's the matter of all the other employees you hounded and harassed into resignation. What do you have to say for yourself about that? Excuse me? That's right, a large number of employees from your department handed in their resignations recently. I made sure to receive testimonies regarding your conduct from every single one of them. Testimonies claiming you were harassing them. Every single one of them. I don't know a thing about that. The timing was perfect. Just as you were about to call into my office to discuss the issue of mass resignations, I got word on how you'd been acting towards Boone. Tell me, Sam, where are you right now? You're awfully late. What's taking so long?
I've been rushing back to the office the moment you called me. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm going as fast as I can. I'll be there really soon. Please, just hold on a little longer.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you, Sam?
It's the truth!
Interesting. Is that hamburger tasty?
Huh?
The window, behind you.
When I headed out to the store to buy myself a drink after I handed Mr. Benson my phone, I spotted Mr. Abrams in a restaurant 30 seconds away from the office, with a hamburger in one hand and his phone in the other. Given the situation, I thought it was best to report it to Mr. Benson. By that point, Mr. Abrams was so late back from his lunch that we decided we should go out and look for him. When he realized the company president was standing right behind him, he darted outside the restaurant faster than I thought it was possible for any human being to move. He was swiftly taken to the president's office, where all of the ex-employees who accused him of misconduct were waiting. With that, the meeting began. As his past misdeeds were laid before the president one by one, Mr. Abrams sat nervously in the corner, biting his nails and sweating profusely. His punishment? Amazingly, he didn't get fired, but he was demoted back down to the rank of a regular employee. Normally, offenses this severe would lead to dismissal, but it seems like Mr. Benson didn't feel comfortable letting a man like Sam Abrams loose on society. On top of that, as the one who promoted him to the position of power in the first place, he also felt a degree of responsibility. After the meeting, he said he intended to whip his errant subordinate back into shape himself. To Mr. Abrams, an ex-section manager with a lot of pride and a big ego, I think being demoted and suddenly being on equal footing with me and the other regular employees was even more painful for him than losing his job. I found out later that Sam Abrams had a long history of harassing his subordinates, and had been doing it since before I joined the company. In total, he'd caused almost 10 employees to quit. These employees all received compensation in the form of a lump sum deducted from Mr. Abrams' salary. The man himself is currently holed away in a tiny room at the back of the office, working as a member of the clerical staff, and is occasionally required to do odd jobs around the building for the other employees. There's something deeply satisfying about the man who used to make your life a living hell being forced to make you cups of coffee. LOL. Obviously, he deserves everything and is only himself to blame, so I don't have an ounce of sympathy for him.